Hello guys, my name is Behroz and welcome to my channel where I talk about all things related to career and personal finance success. Now in today's video, I will talk about job switching. Now job switching used to be very much of a taboo topic some years ago. However, people are becoming more and more comfortable with job switching. And when I say people, both employers and people who are looking for jobs, so which is employees as well. They are very much okay and getting comfortable with job switching. However, job switching is not good in any aspect. Like there are certain aspects when it's good and there are certain aspects when it's not so good. So in this video, I will talk about what are the reasons basis which you should be switching a job. Make sure you stay tuned till the end of this video, because towards the end of this video, I will also be talking about a forward-looking measure with regards to job switching, which is whether you should switch a job or not, looking at the future. So make sure you stay tuned. Now before moving forward with this video, I have to ask for you. One is smash the like button, comes for free, and second, subscribe to the channel. On this channel, I post content pertaining to career and financial success. So if you are interested in improving and getting better at your career and your personal finance as well, this is the right channel for you. When you like and subscribe to the channel, it motivates me and supports me big time in improving the quality and the quantity of the content that I post on this channel. Now let's start talking about what are the reasons or situations in which you should go about changing your job. Number one is job satisfaction. This is the primary thing. Like, you need to be satisfied and motivated in the job that you're doing. You should be liking it, because otherwise it will be a drag on your life and you won't be able to do a good job. You can only do a good job at work if you're enjoying what you're doing. Whatever task you are given, you really enjoy it, you do it with all your heart, and hence it doesn't matter whether you're spending more time on it or less time on it. It's just that because you enjoy it so much, you're so much passionate about it, that you don't really feel whether it is a 9 to 5 limited job or not, or whether the project is limited to 9 to 5. Whenever you're working on it, be it on a weekend or weekday, whatever it is, you are enjoying it. That's the best time of your day. Now, it may not be the best time of your day, but you have passion for that task that you're doing. If that is the case, then you don't need to switch jobs. You need to stay where you are, because you will be producing the best results in doing something you're really passionate about. However, if you're not satisfied, if you are not passionate about the stuff that you're working on, then my friend, it is time for you to change your job, your career, your projects, your tasks, whatever you're working on, you need to change. Now, it doesn't mean that you stop doing what you're doing. You still need to complete the project or task that you have on hand, or maybe if you have a job, you may need to continue doing that job. However, make sure that you start looking for something else on the side and start nurturing something else on the side. So as soon as you're done with working on the core project, you let go of that project, you complete it, and then move into something that you have passion for, or something that you have liking for, as against continuing to do something which may be good paying, but it is not motivating. So if it's not motivating, you won't find growth in it. You may be successful for a very short period of time, but in the long run, you may not be successful. Now, talking about the long run, here's point number 2, which is look for career growth. If your career growth is stagnant and is not moving forward, then it is time, my friend, for you to change job. You should be changing assignments or changing projects or tasks every 2 years. The first 6 months, you take up a project, you're kind of in the learning phase. The balance 6 months of the first year, you kind of start getting your foot together and feet on the ground and start understanding the complete picture. So you understand in the first 1 year. The second year is you contributing back to the organization or back to the project, because the first year was learning, second year is you contributing back. But after third year, the learning graph starts to taper down. And that is the time when you need to move around. You need to move up rather. So you have to look for ways how you can continue to rise up the ranks in the organization. And if that is something which is not coming to you or coming your way in the organization you're working, then my friend, it is time for you to switch jobs. Either maybe within the organization into a different department, or just leaving the organization altogether. I've made a separate video on this where I explain how you can go about making high amount of salary or income, or increase your income. And one thing that is primary in increasing your income, rather it is based out of data as well, that those who switch jobs are able to make 50% more income, or gain 50% or increase their salary by 50% when they are switching jobs, as against someone who stays in the same role or in the same organization. So the idea is not to change organization. The idea is to continue moving up in the organization. But if you see your career is stagnant, then it's time for you to change jobs. Now, one way to figure out whether your career has stagnated or not is to talk to your manager and be very honest with them, or rather ask them to be very honest with you. I used to do this with my manager. I used to tell them, I'm very passionate, I'm very aggressive, I'm very ambitious. So you need to tell me where you think that my career is stalling now and won't move forward in this organization. And when that time comes, don't wait for it. Tell me, because that would be the best favor you can do to me, which is tell me exactly the time when you think that my career has stalled or is not moving forward and I can't grow further in this organization, so I change jobs. This would be a big favor that you can do to me. And they were always open to me. The moment they thought that I can't grow further in this organization for whatever reason it was, they were very honest with me, and hence it gave me the chance to move or change jobs. On the same lines, the third point is skill stagnation, which is when you stop learning anything extra or you stop developing or learning something new. Now, there are people who have 10 years of experience on their resume, but for the most part, or I've seen a lot of those people who have same experience being repeated for each year for 10 years because they were doing the same thing for 10 years. However, there are individuals who have 5 years of experience on their resume. However, every year they're doing something new. So someone who has 5 years of experience but doing something new every year has a much richer experience as compared to someone who's been on the job or who has 10 years of experience but has been doing the same task. So look for ways where you can develop new skills and enhance your skills for that matter. Now, this is especially important when you're starting in your career. When you're starting in your career, you have more opportunity to jump here and there and learn new things. So grasp or learn as many skills as you can, because as you start going up in the organization, it will be difficult for you to be in the learning mode all the time, or rather be easily jumping roles or jumping assignments or projects. You would be on a project or an assignment for a very long time. However, when you're young, when you're junior in the company, it is easy for you to change assignments and change projects very frequently. So try to enhance your skill as much as possible, especially when you're early in your career. But it also applies to someone who is later in their career as well. You don't want to be doing the same thing for another 5 years. Like, you take up an assignment, you learn an assignment, you do it, as I said, for the first 1 year you're learning, for the second year you're contributing, but after that you're not getting any more skills. So look for projects within your organization where you can develop more skills. So much so that even if that requires you to get out of your current function. So for instance, I'm in finance, and let's say I'm doing a role for past 2 years. If I've done that role for past 2 years, the first year I was learning, the second year I was contributing. Now maybe it's time for me to change functions or pick up a project or an assignment in a different function as well, so I can learn more things. Now, Scott Adams, the founder of Dilbert Comics, has this theory which is called skill stacking. Now, according to skill stacking, you have 2 ways of succeeding or being highly competitive. One is either you fall in the top 1 percentile in any given field. Let's say it's finance. So I become the top 1% expert in the finance field, which is very tough to do because it's very competitive in that particular field. The other way of succeeding or being highly competitive is that you skill stack. You learn different skills. You don't need to be perfect in any skill, but you start stacking the skills. Let's take an example. Let's say I'm 10% or in the top 10% percentile of finance skill. Okay, which is good, but doesn't make me in the top. Then I add another skill on top. So I know e-commerce as well. In e-commerce, I am in the top, let's say 10 to 20% as well. So now I start becoming a unique individual. I'm someone who knows finance, average e-commerce. I'm someone who knows average storytelling. I'm average at presenting. I'm average at communicating. I know YouTube, I'm average at it. A lot of average stuff, but many skills, when they are added together, you start becoming someone unique. It would be very difficult for someone to find an individual who is average in finance, average in YouTube, average in storytelling, average in e-commerce, and. Eventually, you'll end up with me being one of those individuals who is very unique with the skill stack they have. This is much easier to do because it makes it much easier for you to succeed, and hence it is important that you continue to build more and more and different skills under your belt, as against just being focused on one skill and just running with it. It is okay to do that, but in that case, that skill has to be something you go up to perfection. You are really passionate about it, like you are the Usain Bolt in that particular skill. If that is something you can't do, which wasn't the case for me in finance, then you start learning different skills. And for you to learn different skills, maybe it's time for you to switch jobs if you're not learning. And for you to learn different skills, maybe it is needed for you to switch jobs if you're done learning any skills in your current job and you're thinking that now you are in a repetitive mode. You're just repeating the experience that you've had in previous year for the next year and the years to come. Now, fourth one is work-life balance. I'm not a proponent of work-life balance when you're starting your career. When you're starting your career, you really need to work hard. You have to forget about work-life balance. Rather, you have to give in your days and nights because you have to build equity. Once an equity is established, like everyone knows that you're someone who can deliver the job, deliver the role, can solve any problems, because even if you're not the smartest guy in the room, you will spend all the time that you have on your hand to figure out how to go about doing any task. Then you've developed an equity. Once you have that equity, then you can play on that equity for the rest of your career. You can just use that equity because people know you and they can trust you with something. They can associate you with someone who's hardworking. And once they do that, it becomes very easy to play on that equity and you really don't need to work that hard. Rather, you start working smart as against working hard in order to optimize the work. However, once you are, let's say, 4 or 5 years in your career, then it's also time for you to optimize your life as well, because you'll start settling down, getting married, having kids, having hobbies, having other things as well, as you start to grow and develop as an individual as well, and not just someone who is identified or has only one identity, which is their job. That is when you really need to work on your work-life balance as well. Otherwise you will burn out. Like, you can work hard in the initial days of your career, you're young as well, it is much easy for you to burn the midnight oil. However, if you continue to maintain the same schedule for the rest of your life, then you will burn out. So in order to avoid burnout, you need to have good work-life balance. So if you're someone who's not early in their career, rather in the early mid career, then you also need to look for a job or a task or a project where you have or you can enjoy work-life balance. If that is not the case, then it is time for you to switch the project, the job, the title, the task, or that organization altogether, so you can have a balance in your life. It is very important for you to have a strong mental and especially strong physical health as well. That is, you're not burning out, you're enjoying your work, but you also have time to engage into other work as well, other hobbies, other spiritual activities with family, so you can continue to nourish your spirituality, your mental health, along with your work life. Now, the next important point around job switching is compensation. Here the idea is twofold. One is you should be expecting a growth in your compensation, and I don't mean like inflationary growth. It should be significant growth, so you can continue to gain or earn more and more money, so you can save more and eventually you can reach your financial goals. This is very important. You can't be just on the same task, doing the same job, earning the same amount of money. This is a sin. The second is also measuring yourself time to time versus the market. So what is market paying you? How does the market values you? And if the market is valuing you significantly different from what value you're getting from the organization, then my friend, it is time for you to change jobs. And here the rule of thumb that I use is around 20%. If you can find 20% jump in your income outside your organization, then it's time for you to have a serious conversation with your manager. Tell them that you have a better offer. It's a 20% jump. If they can kind of match or come close to that offer, good. You can stay in your comfort zone. You can continue to do the work that you're doing. You already have equity in that organization. However, if they say no, then 20% jump is significant enough for you to say, okay, I'll let go of my comfort zone. I'll let go of my equity that I've established in that organization and switch jobs. So if you find something which is 20% more in income or offering you 20% higher salary, take a jump, take that switch. Of course, just don't take it blindly. You have to watch for other things as well, which is, as I said, culture, skills, and other growth potential or future potential as well. But having everything else constant, if you have an offer which is 20% better, just take the job switch immediately. Last but not the least, which is kind of an amalgamation of all the points that I've made, however, more future looking. So look in the future where the market trends are going, where the job opportunities are moving. We have technology which is getting enhanced day by day. AI is on the rise as well. So you need to look for where the trend is. So let's take AI as an example. If the trend is more towards AI, so start looking for opportunities either within your organization or outside, which can start to move you into that sector where you can develop or learn that skill. So I am on the lookout in my organization for any opportunity which is an amalgamation of artificial intelligence and finance. I would like to develop or earn that extra skill in my skill stack. If I can find it within my organization, good. If not, and there is an opportunity outside and I get a good offer saying that they can hire me for a role which also has an amalgamation of, let's say, artificial intelligence with regards to what I know already, and will help me improve that artificial intelligence skill. I would like to take it and put that on my resume as well. So this is exactly how I chose my e-commerce job. When I was given an option, it was an option between doing the same role, kind of a similar role, but in a different capacity, or taking up an e-commerce business sector or business unit. And I chose to do e-commerce business unit because I was like, e-commerce is kind of the future where everyone is headed. E-commerce is booming, it's growing, and hence I need to learn this. And looking at the future trends, whenever the opportunity came in e-commerce finance, I took up that opportunity. So look for future trends, and once you have identified the trend, keep an eye on what opportunities open up in your organization or outside your organization in that particular sector, and then jump for it. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully this video was valuable for you to now understand what are the key factors you should consider when switching jobs, or what are the key things or reasons for which you should be switching jobs. In case you found this video helpful, I'm sure you'll find another video very useful on my channel where I talk about how you can go about managing your manager. You can check out that video here. Other than that, there is another video where I talk about what are the reasons why you are not getting promoted. You can check that video out here. Thank you.